I go, what time have I got to be gone? Yeah. I'm all over that.
People think it's scripted, but they're going to tell when we've been on it, it's not. And
It's
they're also
not.
going to realise how good Dan is at presenting the show once they see me trying to attempt to do it. Once I've ruined it and butchered it, they'll be like, all the comments will be like, Gilly was brilliant. When's Dan coming back?
Where's Anchorman gone? Wrong.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Really?
Dan does that, don't even know what it does, but apparently
What?
syncs the
Clap?
cameras, yeah. I thought he was clapping me in, but he syncs the cameras, so.
Oh, okay.
So good morning and welcome to a Sunday morning show and a special edition show this week, because we've got the main man, Chris Cornish Gill on the show.
Good morning, everybody. How are we? Hopefully everyone okay?
Do you want to be what do you want to be known as? Co-presenter or guest or?
Yeah, I think co-presenter would be good.
Yeah,
I don't want to take Dan's fire away. We know how good an anchorman he is, don't we? So I think we should leave that sort of position to him. I've come dressed in Dan's colours as well.
You have, yeah.
So I've gone hearing aid beige trousers because we know he loves a bit of khaki, don't we? I've gone completely contrasting top and a fat head. So
You haven't got a hat on though, but you've got good hair. To be fair,
well, I've got hair.
for someone of your age,
32.
yeah,
Not bad, is it?
plus that.
Again.
Anyway, so this show is kindly sponsored by Golfing Days, so thanks for their continued support. They've got a couple of big competitions they're arranging at the moment. They've got the National Qualifier, which you would have seen, we've done a film on that, which will be out in the next few weeks, which Caroline Bay from your neck of the woods actually won the whole thing, a great bunch of lads.
Good win there.
We are entering a team, so there's going to be a DHG media team going into this competition. If you're interested in entering and being part of the team, it's for anyone who's subscribed, anyone who knows us, anybody who wants to get involved. It will cost you £270, which is 2 rounds of golf under tournament conditions. One's a 4-ball better-ball on the first day, and then it's a singles on the second day with so many scores counting. Every 4 teams that enters, one will qualify for a national final, which is all paid for. So if you're interested in that, there'll be a little link below.
And it's East Sussex. East Sussex.
It's East Sussex.
Sorry.
It's on the 19th, I'm just looking down, 18th and 19th of June.
What a golf course.
It is
What's a golf course? 270 quid is worth playing there alone.
Dinner, bed and breakfast and tournament golf. So if you're interested, drop me an email and we can get you involved.
Definitely.
There'll be a small deposit just to secure your place. So obviously I'm having to pay the whole
Is
thing.
it pros and ams? Can anyone
Anybody,
enter?
yeah, pros and amateurs. There's no restriction, as long as you've got a valid handicap, which you can get through English Golf now, can't you? You can do your cards. So just contact us and we'll get you involved. But yeah,
Definitely.
so we're looking forward to that one. So talking about tournament golf, this week we were at Sweetwood Park.
You were at Sweetwoods.
So we had the week before we had Jordan against Dan on the ladder match, and then me versus Lee this week on the ladder match. But you know a little bit about the course, then you've a bit of history, yeah.
A bit of
So-
history with the with Sweetwood Park. What a golf course, though. First and foremost, lovely parkland golf course, lots of trees, lots of water, absolutely stunning. But no, I was very lucky. And I used the
No,
phrase
not lucky, never lucky.
In 2002, oh God.
So that's 20 years ago. That's
Oh
scary,
my
isn't it?
word. 20 years ago I won a Europro event round there.
Yep.
And it had a great time, a really good time round there. I think I was tied for the lead or one off the lead after 2 rounds.
Yep.
Played the final round, got off to an absolute horrendous start. Remember it coming on Sky, and the commentator, I hit a shot on I think it's par 3, the 4th. Hit a shot, and the commentator went, "Here he is, pie boy." Bit rude, isn't it? You know what I mean? I wasn't nowhere near as fat then.
No.
You know, 20 years is a long time. That's a lot of wine to put away.
Yeah.
And then I went right off the cliff until about the 12th, and then I made a couple of birdies coming in. Made a great birdie at 17, the par 3, that little Mackenzie Green. Remember that one? And then made a good par at the last, and then finished there. And if anyone remembers the Europro Tour, as I walked off the 18th green, found I won, and high five Peter Little. Do you remember Peter?
No.
These 2 lads, Jamie and I forget the other one lad's called, but I almost took his hand off,
did you?
high-fiving him. Yeah, he wasn't very happy with that at all.
That's a tough finish as well, because
Real tough.
the drive's quite tight. You can't hit it right, and then left there's a hedge that runs up there.
Well, I stood there. So, funny story. I stood there on the 18th, and obviously I had this driver in the bag all week. But this driver, I stole it.
Okay.
I stole this driver from Retief Goosen, of all people. So it was when the
Is he still after you?
he's forgot about that. He won't mind.
What happened to him anyway?
I think still playing, isn't he? Is he playing seniors tour?
Didn't go on so much after that, though, did he? After you nicked his driver.
Well, turns out this driver works, doesn't it? And I stood there and, so I pinched his driver. And as you say, how tight is it? It's trees down the right, bun down the left. And I just said to myself, right, you've got to hit it as hard as you can hit it. Yeah. And I hit it, and I had like 60 yards, 70 yards. It was like 420 yards. Yeah. Best shot I hit all week, but just stood there and hit it so hard, I almost fell over. It was great. So and then
how did you nick his driver then?
Well, I went into the tour van. This is when I could play. Yeah. So I went into the TaylorMade tour van, and it was there. And if anyone's ever been lucky enough, I know you've been into your tour van. They've got names of the players on the top of things, haven't they? So I was like a little ferret. I was just kind of a little rummage around and pick this driver. I was the worst pickpocketer ever because I was knocking stuff over. Yeah. You know, I should have been carrying a swag bag, tiptoeing everywhere, but no, it's all on the floor. And I picked this driver up, and I like the look at that. And it was a 1/4 inch short, if I remember rightly. I put it down because I'm not exactly 6'5". I put it down, and it was like, God, I really like that. And I turned it around and said, Retief Goose, and I thought, he can afford it. I think this was in like the May, and then he won the US Open in the June. It was that kind of sort of time frame, and I thought, he can spare it. He's got more money than me, you know. I was like a sort of Robin Hood character, stealing from the rich to give to the poor, and I was poor at the time. Yeah. So I thought, right, I'm having that. There you go.
So
that was my
at the Open, I went into I got shown around by Hendriksen tour manager, like Ian Steele, who's a member at Churson. Yeah, he took me in the TaylorMade one, and like you said, everything's got labels on. So like McIlroy's wedges were being done, so they like his wedges. So I literally went straight over, grabbed these wedges, picked it up, and as I literally picked it up, they were like, "Don't touch anything." That was that thing, and I was like, you know, you've got it in your hand, and you think, I can't just drop it or put it back. And I thought, I'm literally committed now, and it was in my hand. So I was like, oh, that's nice. And he was like, I was like shoving it down. But they wouldn't. At the Open, they were proper. Like, don't touch anything, just look. And
do you want another thief story? Another thief story if you want. Yeah. So I went to play. I was fortunate enough to play the PGA at Wentworth in 09 or 10, whatever it was. I can't remember. And it was at the time when McDowell was going to switch from Hendriksen to Titleist. And at that time, I was with Titleist. So I went into the tour van, got a drive, I got some wedges. You know, being a bit of a sort of a journeyman pro, trying to nick everything. I had a big bag full of shoes and balls and what else have you. Anyway, I went up and there was a massive tour bag full of Scotty Cameron putters. And they were all hand sort of made by Scotty himself, not the workman's sort of prop. And I looked around and again picked a few up and can you put that back? Sorry, did that back. And anyway, I put this thing and I sort of put it in the sort of bag that I had, and I walked out. I said, "Thanks guys, cheers." And take some more balls and so I had to walk out there. It turns out I look around and Graham McDowell's chuntering, and I said, to my caddy, what's he chuntering for? They'd made him. If you remember the Odyssey, he had like the round with the crook neck. Scotty made him this prototype Scotty Cameron putter, and I sold it.
Have you still got it?
No, I sold it. Made a fortune. Yeah, because it was a one-off.
That's so good.
Yeah, so I've upset Retief Goose and Graham McDowell. I've upset lots of them down the years.
It's actually probably a good job you didn't have like a proper European tour card for like 20 years or something. You would have literally, there'd be no one on the tour.
And well, to be fair, I probably would have only had a 5-day membership anyway. You know, weekends off. So.
So anyway, talking about Europro and obviously your past winner, did you win the Order of Merit?
No, I finished, best I had was 6th.
Which is good, because top 5 went, was it?
Top 5 went the Challenge. You had a really good ranking on Challenge Tours. You had a proper full season. And if you'd played well enough to finish, 4th, 5th, whatever it was, you'd probably earn 20, 25 grand. You probably would have, had to have won at least 1, if not 2. And then you would have had to have a bundle load of top 5s, because I think you talked about before, the price line used to fall off the cliff, didn't it? You used to go like 10, 5, 2.5, and then 1,750, I think. So by the time you took your expenses, even back then, even for price of petrol and everything else, you probably had to finish top 8 to break even. And the fields were good. You think the guys I grew up playing with, Louis Eustace and Charles Schwartzel, guys playing on tour now, the Simon Dysons, your Lee Slatterys, the guys have been around for years and years. The standard was pretty damn good.
I thought that possibly, I know, because it's been in the news recently, the Europro. For people that don't know, Europro is basically not folded, but it's gone.
Ceased to exist.
So that as a tour next season won't be there. It was the players only found out at the same time as they made the press announcement, which is a bit of a shame, really. Yeah, I mean, I understand why they do it, because you tell someone, like if you told me, I'll tell everyone. Generally,
and you are nicknamed Motor Mouse, so yeah, I guess that's.
But I just thought the players some of the former players who've gone through that tour, because it is a good learning curve. It's
brilliant.
Just, for me, when I went and caddied for Wilbur on it, it was almost like being on tour, and it was such a good sort of place to learn about 3-day events or 4-day tournaments with the Pro-Am, and a good grounding for all the youngsters. So I just thought possibly some of the past winners who have made it on various tours would maybe have clubbed together and said, let's try and fund it for a few years.
I was surprised something didn't happen. I think for me, exactly what you said, I think for me is what I really got from it myself was preparing for more than one round events, because that is a massive thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you play in a regional event, some guys do, you play in your club event and you get off to a poor start, you're chasing your tail because it's a sprint, isn't it? It's 18 holes generally. 54, you can maybe make a bogey or a double on the first. You've got another 53. So it was all about plotting a bit more and preparing media stuff, which was quite important, and especially now, even more so, media stuff seems more important with people having their own access to their own media. When I first started playing, we were still dealing with faxes and then stuff. So we certainly didn't have any Twitter or Facebook or nothing like that. So no way could you have actually gone and learned all that stuff. And somebody was pointing a camera in your face, and you might have had a great round 65, so you were all buzzing. And there was a few times that somebody put a camera in your face and you'd been leading the tournament and you'd shoot 77 and all you wanted to do was like run away.
Yeah.
But you can't. You've got an obligation, and it really taught you that kind of how to interact with cameras, with press, with people and stuff. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I enjoy that side, which is why I kind of enjoy this side of it now. But
we always say, like, obviously I was never good enough to play golf for a living. I played in a few programs as a pro, but then soon realised that I was making up the numbers, felt I was letting people down a little bit by playing in programs. So I'd go and play a program, I'd take my own team, take my own mates. I wouldn't rock up and play with a sponsored team or a team from the club. No. But it's, this, doing the YouTube and social media is as good as it gets to not being a tour. Like, obviously I always want to be a tour pro, like probably yourself, but you are levels above what I got to. But doing this is, for me, it's the next best thing.
Well, do you not think as well? Because obviously you guys, because I am a geek, by the way. I'm a proper geek. I'm a train spotter of all things. But I do watch nearly every video you put out. That kind of behind the scenes access that you've got to 2 tour trucks, 2 players lounges, 2 players to stand on the range. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It's really cool.
Because when all said and done, I'm a bit of a fanboy, as we all are. Like, we're golfers, but if Tiger Woods walks past you, you're in awe, aren't you? And even like just that access when we went to the Open, working through FootJoy, which was brilliant. But having Ian, who we knew, and like, let's go on the range. I had pictures with. I met John Daly.
I saw that picture.
He was absolutely brilliant. Like, he was walking, came out the tour truck, and he was walking between the trucks. It was Open week. He's busy. And I thought, shall I not just say, can I have a picture? Like, there was no one around, and he could have easily said to me, mate, go away, I'm playing the Open. Which I would have been like, I totally understand, but he couldn't, and I thought this is my one opportunity to not to annoy him, but to get a picture with someone that I admired growing up, who was a character in golf. Literally couldn't have been nicer. I went down and I said, I know you're really busy, can I just have a quick selfie? Yeah, no problem. Grabbed my phone off me, gave it to his son, who's John Daly Jr. Take a picture, take a picture, and like literally I was stood there and he was chatting, and he like literally couldn't have been nicer. He, like, what are you doing? Like, are you part of Taylor? Because I came out I think I'd come out the TaylorMade van.
You don't know which one you came out.
No, but and I was just like, it couldn't have been nicer, and it was just brilliant. I had pictures of Keegan Bradley, who gets quite a lot of bad publicity, doesn't he? Let's be honest.
Well, we can talk about him in a second.
But even he was nice and friendly. Like, everyone was brilliant.
I think as well. I think when you get that access, when you have that pass, when you're not sounds a bit derogatory. It's not meant to be, but when you're not a normal spectator, and they know that you've been given access, so somebody on the inside trusts that actually you're not going to be a bit of a twit and go around and asking for autographs to everybody. Then I think there's that little bit more of a confidence in you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even as a player. So when I played now 30, 40 European Tour events, whatever it is, I'd even go up to some players. Some guys who I grew up with, really respected, and this was kind of before you even had camera phones.
Yeah.
So, God, I'm not that old really, but you know, you try and get an autograph or maybe a picture, somebody take a picture and print it out and give it to you. And I was still a little bit of a kid, you know. You know, when I remember walking down the range in, I think it was Singapore one year, and there was Darren Clark, Lee Westwood, Colin Montgomery, and then little old me, and I'm there thinking, well, what's going on? You know, this ain't right. It felt like somebody had fixed it for me. Like I should have had a badge. You know, it felt like I'd like won a crossword competition. You went, oh, go on, go on. You're a little special. Go on, you get behind the rope, sunshine. But no, it was something special. It is cool, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And you got any like ambitions to? I know, going a bit off Easter. But you got any ambitions to play like Legends Tour or anything like that? Or?
I'd like to get back into competing.
Yeah.
I think I'm the same as most has-beens to some extent, where you've still got the desire, you've still got the drive to compete. That's the big thing I miss. I love my job, I love being a head pro, I love all the stuff that comes with it, but I miss competing. I miss that competitive, stand on the first tee. I think Sevi said I look him in the eye, shake him by the hand and think I'm going to beat the crap out of it. I really miss that side of it. You know, so yeah, I'm certainly planning on to. By that time, the kids will be a bit older, maybe left home, going to university. Shop will be sort of taking care of itself a little bit more, and I'd certainly like to play a bit more. But I think for me, going back to a little bit, I think I'm certainly going to get involved with this golfing days and that pro event that they've got coming, or that event. I don't think it's pros only, but that match play event they got coming up and stuff. So
looks quite interesting, doesn't it?
I'm certainly going to have a look at that for sure.
So going back to Keegan Bradley, so we mentioned I had a picture of him. Seemed a really nice guy when I was chatting to him. There's been quite a bit of news on social media. Him with his putting. I mean,
for you, those of you that haven't seen it on, I think it was mainly on Twitter, but he does the aim points, so the finger things. He does the feet, so he's got a name, isn't it? I can't remember, but he does that. Then he had a look around a couple of times, and he did it all over again.
There was a lot going on.
Surely that's overload, isn't it? I get confused walking down the street. Never mind any of that.
I mean, it's a tricky one because he's taking so long, and then he's missing a lot of putts.
And then he missed it.
So it's strange. I mean, I don't know whether is it a nerves thing. I mean, would you need that much information on a putt? You've got a caddy there with you who's obviously he's got a skilled guy in his profession who can read, obviously better read greens, and they've got green books and stuff, haven't they?
Oh no, they stopped green books, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, I think we've rambled long enough. Thank you, obviously, for Gilly for coming up all the way from deepest, darkest Cornwall for today. We are going to do a few videos with him, so we're going to sort of utilise his time. We're going to do like a coaching video, and we've also got a couple of other things planned. I think he's going to give me a lesson as well, which would be quite interesting. But no, thank you for your time. If you've enjoyed Gilly on this show, then please like the video. Also comment if you want to see him back, because Jordan and Himdog did a Sunday morning show, and they did a second one when the ratings sort of fell off. So we had
cliff,
to,
I think you had
so we had to bin them. So if you prefer this format,
kids own it,
then we're getting back on. But if you don't want him on there, then we won't. So it's all about ratings, unfortunately.
Please don't be nasty. I don't take rejection.
So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday.